Hello everybody, Всем привет. Today I'm going to be working on the castle entrance and just a few other little bugs. For example, when we enter the castle, we're supposed to this is actually supposed to take us into the castle screen, and that's not happening. I'm currently getting my event not yet implemented structure, so we need to fix that. And then we're also not getting an event sound when we pick up the artifact. The event sound should be this. This is the sound. That's the sound that we should get. Um, so we're gonna work on fixing those. Um, so I give it my usual prompt of I'm rebuilding the game engine. Entering the hero castle tile, which is C1 for the byte 8 tile. There's also an A8 byte tile for neutral, byte 8 tile for the neutral town in Claw. Now, if I pull that up, this is actually the 10 byte hex tile map for Claw. And if we just pull that up, we're looking at these random sets of bytes here. But I basically put little spaces here to mark it for myself so I can quickly locate these tiles. So bytes 0 through 9, byte 8 is the second to last byte. So this one is A8, and all of the other pieces of this are 28. So this is the neutral town, the neutral knight's town in the center of the claw map. This here is the castle that you start out in, and the byte 8 code there is 41, which I guess just means those are castle tiles. I mean, we actually know they're castle tiles from the level 1 sprites, where it says 0A, which is town. That's town 32, and then the specific image frames in town 32, which is like 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, etc. But this is really, C1 is the value that tells you on the map whether this is like a player town, a player castle, etc. I could potentially figure it out. And maybe I should actually do this, that instead it's actually 76 is the entrance of the castle. And that would actually also mean up here, so this is 0A. Well, 0A is also potentially, that's the entrance to a town of the knight variety. And if I actually pull this up, I think a visual aid would probably explain this a little better. If we go to town 32, just a second here. So this is what we're dealing with in town 32, and so 010, this is basically the entrance to, so 0A is the entrance to the town on the map. So it would be like this one. 022 is the entrance to the castle of the knights variety. 034 is the entrance to the sorceress castle. 046. So I could decode it based on this, and that actually might be more reliable, because I am seeing I see A8 and I see C1, and I don't have a good reason for why one is chosen over the other. So maybe I should actually be decoding the tiles based on the level 1. Like this tells us 0A that it's town 32 is the image set, and then 76 tells us the specific tile. that we're dealing with. And in this case, actually, if I go back in here to 76, you will see, wait, is that right? 0A76, that is actually just this random tile here. So I don't actually think that's a good way of doing it. Is that right? 0A76. So yeah, this defaults to, at least the way I decoded this map, it is defaulting to the town of the Warlock, which is not correct. I would expect it to be, oh, you know what? That's the trick, is this is 76 in hex. So what is 76 in hex? Well, let's pull that up in a calculator here. And let's change our calculator to a programmer calculator. 76. Okay, so let's make it 76 in hex, which in decimal is 118. So now if we look in here and see what is 118, that is the entrance to the random castle. So actually this would probably work. This would be a better way of decoding this. So I may end up making that change. But again, you know, this is just another example of going back into the reverse engineering, looking at the actual raw map files and seeing what we're dealing with here. But anyway, the check that I'm doing in the logic here is looking for a C1 or an A8 in the byte 8 tile. And actually what I think it is the maps actually reference these based on the hero and castle index that comes after the sound map at the end of the map format. And so these values are actually like indices of castles. And so I think one of the maps, I think the biggest map that has the most castles is one of the maps where you have to sail around and there's like 22 castles on it. And so that might mean that you have a much larger number of these tiles. So it is actually probably smarter for me to detect the tile based on being an entrance tile in town 32. I actually think that's probably smarter. And then I check who owns that castle. If nobody owns that castle, then it's a neutral castle. If somebody owns it, then you're going to have a castle battle, or if there's a hero in the castle, then you're going to have a hero in the castle battle. So anyway, so I probably should update this, but I've just been thinking about this after the fact. This is my old prompt from a couple days ago as I'm recording this video. So anyway, I don't want to use a dialog box from utils cpph. That was the dialog box that was popping up that was like, there's no event assigned to the castle yet. So I don't want that. Instead, I want the hero to check if the hero belongs to the team owning the castle. And if so, we enter the castle screen for that structure. If it's not owned, it'll trigger a battle. Let's stub that out for now. Picking up an artifact, first it should play the same sound as the windmill when the dialog box shows up, and then when OK is clicked, it should play one pickup sound randomly selected from pickup sounds, just like when a random resource is picked up. And let's just demonstrate that again. It doesn't play a sound and there's no pickup sound, so you don't know what happened. And it should be playing this sound instead. And so that's what we're trying to sort out here. And then entering a neutral town, this 0A8 byte 8 tile should start a neutral town battle. Now the neutral town battle is easy for me to do right now because I don't have any castle walls. I haven't implemented a castle battle, and if it's just a town, there is no wall, so it basically just takes place in a field that's the same like uh, field structure as like any regular battle on dirt or grass or snow or whatever it is. So so it's very easy for me to start with this. Next, when I do the castle implementation, I'm going to have to build like castle walls and do like an actual battle with the walls and a ballista and a garrison and build out all that. And that's not going to be too bad, but like it's, you know, right now I just want to test like capturing a town. Can I put flags on it? You know, can I do all the battle results correctly? Things like that. So um, I'm guessing approximately what the garrison is of a town. And it's sorry, it's 20 of a level 1 troop, 10 of a level 2 troop, 5 of a level 3 troop to start. And then we, in the new day logic, we should increase that by a minimum of 1 creature per week or 10%, whichever is greater. So that's like a basic level. I've actually done a few more tests on this, and it's actually like 1 of the level 3 troop to start. That's actually kind of the normal logic. I've played Claw and started out, or actually maybe it's actually this, but then it's 1 of a level 4 troop to start as well, because I think there was a swordsman in the castle when I attacked the castle after week 1. So I need to play around with that garrison logic of like a neutral town, what you know what is built in there. But I also mentioned the neutral town battle happens on a field of the ground of the type that the ground type that the town entrance is on. If the hero wins, the event actions should give the hero's controller control of the town. Flags appear on the town on the map, and the town can be entered. The town appears on the town locator on the right side of the screen. So AI goes through, makes some castle entrance adjustments, I guess we could say. The artifact sounds are played, and the pickup sound is played when the artifact is picked up, and the neutral town triggers a battle. Goes through some logic of how to build out that garrison, adds this neutral town garrison structure to the maps, makes some town additions to battle screen and battle trigger, and when you complete the battle, apply neutral town capture. It was a very long process, so I had to continue still working on creating the garrisons. Long change. Lots of files updated. Let's look at what that build did here. So let's have a look. So first of all, we're entering the town, but it's not playing the music, so that's not ideal. It's supposed to play the town music when we enter, and it's not doing that. So that's one little bug. Let's check if the artifact pickup is working. Yep, so that worked. Let's see, archers and peasants are pretty useless, so let's just make it some dragons so we can attack these griffins that we're gonna fight. We're gonna attack those guys a little more effectively. And I have a few bugs, obviously, in the animation. I'm a little annoyed that it's not showing the sword icons correctly yet. That's probably another fix I need to work on, is the directional attacks and just a lot of the attack animations, even the placement of the wider creatures like the dragons, the phoenix, the griffins on the battlefield. That needs to be improved. Okay, we're gonna try this attacking the town here. And okay, it built the exact garrison that I wanted. Let's just do some attacks and see what happens here. Okay, we got our end of battle screen. We got 195 experience, which is the right amount for those creatures, but I think we're actually supposed to get 695 experience for the castle. This did appear. There's no castle build option here, so that's another project to build that out. But it is showing up also in the locator, so that's not bad. So we had a music bug with entering the castle. The music transition is missing from the event transition. When the hero enters the castle, the terrain music and the ambient sound engine should be turned off. Castle screen music should play. When the castle screen's exited like normal, the castle music should stop and the terrain music and ambient sound should start again. So it goes through, makes some updates, and then I throw in my new day logic just to check, hey, do we need to make any changes for the growth of the town garrisons? Not really. So, okay, good. Let's update the documentation. Make some updates there. But then earlier, it said that it couldn't modify map CPP. And I was like, hey, why was that? And so it actually says, well, it would be a cleaner design if the game state was initialized in the game state. So why don't we put the garrison in that structure? So I dump the latest files there, asking it to make those updates, and so it does make the updates to the garrison structure in map CPP. And what did it do? Okay, it removed the init neutral town garrisons from event actions, which what was happening there is when the event would happen, when you would attack the town, it would generate the neutral town garrison. So that's one of the fixes that we put in. And let's see here. Okay, it should also fire for neutral castles. What did I mean by that? Ah, yes. So also what was happening is, let's see. So it was only when you would enter the neutral castle, it wasn't fixing. So it wasn't fixing the garrison for neutral castles. It was only fixing it for towns. That's what it was. So anyway, made those updates to map CPP. We should just do another double check here. Did we have that? I think that worked. And I actually also did another fix for the hero experience. I think that is actually in. Let me show you what that bug is in the old version. And I made, while I was tinkering around in map CPP and the initializations. So if we go in here to recruit hero, there's no experience for Barak the warlock or Yogg the barbarian. They don't have any experience, and they're supposed to your basic heroes are supposed to have some initial amount of experience. I mean, you can't have a hero with no experience. That's it wouldn't really be a hero in that case. So this was one bug that I also went in and played around with, and I think that this was all fixed in my next build here, which is what I want to show. So this is playing the music correctly. Let's go conquer the other castle quickly. We'll run up here and skip that battle. That's a neat bug in my current build, is that I can just hit auto battle and it automatically ends the battle. So we're loaded there, and the music is playing there, but we still are not able to do the castle building for this. But it is working. We can open them from the locator. We have successfully conquered that town. It's flagged. It shows up on the map with the little red box here. Like, this is actually looking pretty good. So we're good there. And how did I fix the... This is my next prompt here, where I fixed that experience points. And I didn't actually show you that that was fixed in this one, but it's the same build that we just tested to make sure that everything was working. So I create a hero pool of heroes, and they also need a random amount of experience. I've observed that it's 42 to 84 experience points. As defined in map CBP, it should not be 0. This is the line from map CBP. So we're basically just generating a random amount of experience in this range for the heroes. So it makes more sense to do it in the hero pool, not in map CBP. Okay, whatever. So I go and I look at the code here in hero pool, where we're generating these values, and I'm looking for the experience. I don't know why you're suggesting that it's even reshuffle, because we wouldn't reset the experience in reshuffle. But I do want it inserted into init hero pool. And saying, you're right, reshuffle hero pool shouldn't get experience assigned. Heroes returning to the pool via return hero to the pool already have experience from their time in field, and new entries were already initialized. So reshuffling is just reordering, not recreating. So basically there's this template experience, and we need to add that there in init hero pool. And we're going to do this before build standard army. Okay, great. It's telling me where to put it in. I got a small compile error where it wasn't recognizing this random number generator function. Okay, great. This value, this template experience, does not exist yet in map H. So let's add that alongside. And then when we generate this template of a hero, we're then copying that in. But I did that test, and the heroes are still showing 0 experience in the preview. And this field is being set on the entry, but the hero state from pool entry isn't copying it across. So just find that in hero pool CPP, and it should work. So let's double check that this works in this current build. Move caster out. Yep, now the heroes are showing some basic experience. So it's looking good. Let's recruit him. Send him over. That is another bug I just noticed, that the hero's not being populated with movement points when they're recruited. So that'll be another minor thing to fix.